Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Bradley, but you can call me Bradley, and today we're going to be building out of the first row of blocks in Minecraft, which is it's a challenge because I like challenges. You might be wondering what that means, building out the first row of blocks. Well, it's actually this row here, and we do it all the way down to the bottom, and I've copied over all of the ones that are blocks, not really the spawn eggs, since I really wouldn't know how to incorporate those into a base unless they were in item frames, which I don't have available. But with all these blocks, there's a lot more than I thought there would be. But it's a random assortment of blocks, and I'm wondering what type of base I can build out of these. And like with the previous challenge, I don't have to use all of these blocks in the base. I'll try to use as many as I possibly can, but I have to try and make a base that looks good. And you know, it can be a little difficult when you've got a colour assortment such as this. With any base, you have to start off and wonder to yourself, what am I going to do with the colour for this? Well, I went through a couple off camera, and the one I had eventually settled on was blue, because I saw a lot of blue blocks, and I thought, hey, I can twist it in this direction. But the problem with blue is that the blue blocks always change colour, and I don't really like using Prismarine for that reason. But I think when matched with the cyan and the green of the copper, it works really, really well. One thing I did also try with these slanted roofs at first, and eventually I decided to settle on more of an Middle Eastern flat roof tile sort of thing, because I think it just works better with the base. Also, it's like really weird to have this like ocean almost theme base mixed with the flat like deserty type area, so it's really random, completely impractical, but it works really well. And one thing I also am really proud of with this base is the use of grey, because blue can be a little difficult to texture sometimes. So what I did was I used tuff and coral, and it helps move into the prismarine, which then moves into the cyan concrete powder, and it worked out really well, especially when contrasted with the yellow roofs. And you know, there's spruce and there's path blocks and there's dark windows, and they're just like, I'm so happy with how the colors turned out in this base, because there's like, it's just something that I can't always get the colours perfect when I'm making something, but with this base, I believe that I couldn't have done much better with this. Obviously, if I had a bigger range of blocks, I probably could improve it more, add more stuff in, but the lack of blocks really showed here is brilliant. Well, it looks like we're going to be having to create the interiors now, which is always a bit of a struggle for me since I'm never that great at interiors, but I have been testing out a few designs. And the first was like a carpet that I wanted to put in this main area. And I was thinking with like a mixture of these blocks here, maybe if we break it off a little. And yeah, by using these mangroves, it like moves into the greys. And I didn't actually realize that before, but when comparing them next to like things like that, it's a lot more of a grey red rather than a pale red, which I, you know, is where I was thinking of it being before. So I think that looks pretty nice to walk into. Yeah, that looks very nice. And if we go ahead and look at these blocks, we can see what would work on in interior. Talking in color terms, the green is like on the color spectrum right next to blue, so it isn't too massive of a contrast. That's why it sort of works here. But it also, you know, it helps add a little colour to the room and helps add a little detail where it wasn't before. So this could be like a coloured wall or whatever. Does that look any good? Yeah, I think that's alright. That's decent. Maybe this here will help. That adds a little colour into it, doesn't it? There we go. Sorry if this is a lot of me just like speaking to myself, that I do tend to speak to myself more than I should. So I'm just trying to figure out which ones work in this specific situation, even if some of the candles are just floating. Does that look any good? I don't really like the design of that, but maybe if I had some candles up here too, and then because I know it's the flint and steel isn't I'm not technically placing the flint and steel, so I'm gonna say I can use it. And if I do a bit of that, I think that looks really cool. It's like a vinery display or something. I don't know what you would call it, but it looks quite nice. I think that looks nice enough. I don't know what it would be, but it looks like a bit of a support maybe. And is there anything else we can add into this bottom area? There probably is. I'm just trying to think of what we could add. Maybe that could work as just like a pipe or something though, because that doesn't look too bad. That little pipe, having like a pipe across the ceiling doesn't look too bad there actually. So maybe if I just add like one of those, of these in there. Yeah, that look look at that, we figured it out. It looks nice, sort of. and filling up that corner with that. Does that? I honestly, I'm saying a lot of words, not meaning a lot though. I think overall that's the first floor done. And when we go wrap here, and does that look any good? I think that does. And what buttons? I know I have I think it's the red. It's the mangrove button I have available, and the yellow one. So one of yeah, mangrove and yellow buttons. So maybe if I do something, that doesn't really work, does it? Maybe that. I don't know what to do about that glass though, because that doesn't look quite right. I do have this, so I could always try that out. And then brilliant. I suddenly had like an idea. So we can grab these from out here and place them over the window, and boom, we have like shades now. Overall, I think that room is basically done now, which is shocking. Look at that. Okay, so the interior of this space is done now. I might add a couple more things, but you know, I always end up adding like a couple things when I'm off. When I finish the video, I always end up looking back and going, oh, I could have done this. And I'm like, nobody's going to notice. Don't worry. You can just get away with this. And I always do. Oh my word, I had bookshelves this entire time and I forgot. I hid them behind the paintings. I completely forgot I had bookshelves. See, this is the sort of thing. I always make mistakes like that. I always say like, darn it, there's not enough blocks. Maybe if I do. See, that looks so much cooler. That's got all like the detail in it now. That looks so much better, I think. Is that? Let's add some buttons. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Just like I could have done all that and I didn't because I forgot. Just like things like this. Make the base feel whole. Yo, so this is. And we even added a little pink in. You'll be hard pressed to find one of those blocks that isn't in the base, except for well, some of these terracottas. But still, wow, we have done this entire base now. That was actually really cool, and this is genuinely one of my favorite bases I've designed in a while because. You know, it's got a lot of essence to it. The colors I've used took me a while to figure out which ones I wanted to use, but I think it fit together really well. I created a whole new texture for blue, and blue is a pain to texture, trust me. So having this like grey texture here, technically dirt isn't on the left, but I just did that, and I went like this, and then you get the little dirt block. So I cheated there, but I'm too lazy to replace it with the mud block, so that's what you've got. But yeah, wow, very cool. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to put a comment in the comment section below. Bye bye.